I had Amazing Spider-Man collection mailed to me. We're going to go through it, all Silver Age, almost all Silver Age. All right, yes, this is starting to become a common occurrence where people will email me, they'll message me on Instagram or TikTok and say, hey, I have a collection, are you interested? And since I'm in New York and they are somewhere far away, they'll mail it to me and we kind of negotiate and everything. It's becoming common. Before we dig into this, and of course, this is like for a shippable collection, maybe a short box or less, sometimes two. But before we get into it, if you could hit the subscription button if you haven't already, of course, hit that thumbs up because I think you're going to enjoy this video. We are going to talk price. So there you go. We are going to talk price about this collection. I know it's been a little while. This one we are good to go on. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this collection. And I use the term collection a little loosely because this is just a very small piece of the seller's collection. He has quite a few other books, but because he lives so far away, this is the focus and this is what he offered me, and this is what he sent me, and this is what I made an offer on. Of course, in the description also below, there's discount codes for Whatnot, Cover Price, and Gemini Comic Supply. That's the big one, because they're all great, don't get me wrong, but the Gemini Comic Supply is 10% off any purchase all the time, where Whatnot is like $10. You get $10 for your first purchase. Cover Price is a good one, but it's a discount for like 3 months if you haven't used the service yet, which I do highly recommend. I do enjoy Cover Price. So, okay. Story time. Before we get into this, I was emailed by the seller, and he explained, "Hey, I have a whole bunch of Ditko Spider-Mans." He saw my last collection video and was like, "Hey, I have a few of the same books that you purchased there. Are you interested?" And I explained, "Listen, you're in. I don't want to give away his state. You guys probably know now. I'm in New York, so put it this way: it wasn't even in my time zone. All right, so that." It was not in my time zone. So I explained, listen, this has happened before where somebody will mail me the collection. I will look through it. I will make an assessment. I will make an offer. If you're happy with it, fantastic. If you're not, that's okay too. I'll mail it back to you. So we were happy. It's a small box. This is not a ton of books. I don't even think it's 30 books, but so he was like, okay, he put a bunch of Spideys in. It's not all Ditko Spideys. There's a couple Copper Age. You may have recognized one or two when we go through them. So that's how this happened. Books arrived. Everything was safe and sound. He shipped very well, opened up. And if you guys are on TikTok, you've probably already seen this video. If you're not on seen the books, if you're not on TikTok, go follow me there if you're using the app. If you're not, that's okay. I also post on Instagram for Reels and Shorts on YouTube. So enough chit chat. I think we can go through this now. Here's the one thing I will say about these books. Other than, and I'm going to spoil one right now, Amazing Spider-Man 300. Okay, other than these moderns, these big time moderns, the amazing. This is the amazing. The ASM also came in a double bag and board. The conditions aren't tremendous. They're not fantastic. They're not great. But you know what? They're great Silver Age Spidey books. So that's a big part of this, where the last collection, a lot of stuff was significantly better grade. The cool thing is the seller already knew that. He was like, look, they're not as good as the ones that you just purchased. I know that. I know they're in rough shape. A lot of this stuff is between a 0.5 and maybe a 4, maybe a little better on some of them. Nothing better than a 6. And I'm going by the PSA. Oh, not PSA, the CGC standard grading system, number system. So nothing over, I got PSA on the brain with Pokemon cards. Nothing really over a 6. Again, the range is mostly I say 0.5 because there's one book missing an ad. We're going to go through it. And then to like a 4. That's pretty much our range. So low grade, Silver Age, Ditko Spideys. I love this stuff. Let's turn the camera around, top down view, and go over the books. All right, let's dig into it. Obviously, this is not a Ditko Spidey, but I did say there are some modern books. All these modern books are between like 8s and 9s, maybe even a little lower. The ASM 300 is it's probably about a 7580. This is even the 301 is even lower. Everything is direct. Now let's just get right into the silver. That's all it was. Just this quick little batch here. And again, we are going to talk price at the end. So here we go. Sorry, just moving stuff. All right, here we go. We're starting with Amazing Spider-Man 36. You know, not too bad. I'm calling this one like a mid-grade, looking like a 5 or so. The grades are going to go down from here. Here's your second Multiman, Amazing Spider-Man 38. Again, 5.0. You know, look at the corners. All the corners are a little rough. Top one's not bad. The top 2 corners aren't bad. But I'm calling mid-grade here. Amazing Spider-Man 34. This one is probably the best grade of the entire lot. This one's looking a little better than a 6, so I did make a mistake there. This is our best. The 34 is the best one. Classic Ditko, Amazing Spider-Man 33. I mean, these books were read. Another cool part of the story with the seller is a lot of these books were traded and read and traded with friends. You got the stain on the right, or the foxing there on the right side of the book. A lot of this stuff was handled with multiple hands, and young kids in the 60s read them, which is really cool. There's a lot of story behind these, which is always fun. Here is your first Harry Osborn and Gwen Stacy. You can see the stain, the stain dead center there. But these are great books, and I always get the comments, oh, all you care about is condition. No, I don't only care about condition. I am a condition snob. I will be the first to admit that. But people care about conditions. When I am at a convention and people want to look at books on the wall, they look closely to make sure it's in the grade they want it. So yeah, I do talk a lot about conditions. It doesn't take anything away from these books, how cool they are. It takes away from the value or adds to it, but it doesn't diminish the books though for being awesome. Here's your Molten Man. Very, very difficult book to get in high grade, as you can see. Rough. They are read and they were enjoyed, just like they usually were back then. All right, 27. Here comes number 26. This one, yeah. So you can see the damage there. It almost looks like an extra staple was added. I don't know what that is, but it's not a staple. It's not. So here we go. 25. I'm sorry, 25. Great stuff. I mean, you can see. Books from the 60s. This is the quality of book I usually find from the 60s, which is okay. You got the centerfold like it was in somebody's back pocket or something. The center crease there. Here's 22. Spine roll. But yeah, I do get a lot of hate comments about condition, but hey, look, it is important to mention. If you think I'm wrong, please leave a comment. Again, it doesn't diminish anything or take away from the awesomeness of the books. Here's number 20. You got to be careful with the first Scorpion. This is Amazing Spider-Man 20, first Scorpion, because it does have a pinup in here of Spider-Man. It's towards the back of the book. This book does have your pinup. What I'm going to end up doing with a lot of these is, other than the Scorpion and maybe one other before we get to it, those are going to end up at New York Comic Con. The rest of these, I'm going to do a Whatnot sale. Oh, look, the tear at the top too. I didn't even notice that before. The rest of these are going to be on a Whatnot sale. We're just going to probably do a few here, a few there. But by the time New York Comic Con runs around, these will all be sold. So my streams are usually Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern. We've been doing a lot of silver and bronze recently on Whatnot. You can give me a follow on there, VERYGARY_comics if you want. If you're not interested, don't even worry about it. Here we go. Look, this is a big key. Number 18, ASM 18. All right, showing you when the grades, or I shouldn't say the grades, when the collection is this small, and again, I say collection, I use that term a little loosely because this is only a portion of the collection. I can go through the books like this and just kind of show you a little bit of the conditions on the covers. I didn't want to take everyone out and look at the backs. It's a nice book, ASM 16. This one looks clean. This one looks clean. Got to check the back on this one. I don't remember what it was like. Here's your first Craven. However, missing ad page between 19 and 20. We'll run this one. We'll run this one and start it at $1 on Whatnot. What the hell? And here's the other book. 2 books here that are going to end up on the wall at New York Comic Con Raw. None of this stuff is going to CGC. None of it. So you can see here, you're at like a 2.0, 1520 here. It is attached though. And then we get number 10. So that was the first Mysterio, first Craven before. I apologize I didn't mention it. I'm just kind of going off on a tangent. You got the crotch shot right there. That's a tough one. This guy didn't make it. Okay? He went down. Not a good way to go down. But that's what happened there. Poor guy. But here you go. Number 10 here. So that's it. Let's talk about it really quick and talk price. All right, guys, you saw every single book in this collection. You actually saw a lot of the conditions. I mean, I didn't take them out of bags and boards on camera. That would be here forever. And now you're asking yourselves, what did I pay for this collection? The first thing is, what do you think this collection is worth? And I'm able to ask you that because you actually saw every book and basically the conditions. So, except the backs. We'll just assume the backs are just like the fronts. All right, let's just assume. So roughly, this collection, I estimated the value of this collection between somewhere. Ooh, I'm going to tell you all this. Yeah, I estimated this collection value somewhere between about $2,400 and $3,000, give or take the market, even getting top dollar, which I never get top dollar. Condition, that's where my numbers kind of lie, between $2,400 and $3,000. We agreed on a price. Ready? We agreed on a price of $1,600. So if some of these come out a little bit higher, I'll do a little bit better. Even if they are about that $2,400 range, you know, not quite $1,000 in the pocket. And again, that's assuming every one of these book sales get close to retail. Doesn't necessarily happen on Whatnot, but we'll see. Nice little batch of stuff, a fair price. He was happy. I was happy. Hopefully you're happy watching this video. So that's it for me here, guys. Again, please hit that thumbs up. Hit the follow button, subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget to give me a follow over on TikTok, Instagram. You're already here on YouTube. I guess I'm on Twitter. I don't really do much on Twitter, but I'm over there as well. Everything is VERYGARY_comics. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, keep it comics.